Merry day before Christmas. I hope everyone's doing well and you're ready for the Christmas holiday. Oh boy, it it wouldn't be Christmas without talking about everyone's favorite person, Motor One, Jeremy Dewitte. He's one of my more egregious stolen valor cases I did, and I've been following him for quite a few years. And I figured, yeah, what better way to close out the season and the year with what's Motor One been up to? Hmm. What's Motor One been up to? That is a good question. Um, yeah, Motor One. What's he been up to? Let's change this a little bit here so you guys can get a better peeky see. Oh, look, he's incarcerated and has been since April with zero bond in Osceola County. Doesn't look too happy in that picture. I probably wouldn't be either. It's funny how they try and cover up the orange jumpsuit there. That's unusual. So these are all sex offender charges that he has in Osceola County. He's also got an out of county warrant from Orange County. I'll show you those charges as well. And yeah, I just figured would go over this. I'm also going to show you a new channel. Well, he's coming up on his 1 year anniversary. Uh, a young man who was served in the military, and he was part of the old guard, which very impressive, very impressive. That was his first duty station, and he's got a military themed channel. Talks a lot about the military. And I would love if all of you, I will put a link in the chat. I will put a link in the description to his channel. And it would be awesome if everybody goes over there, subscribes, gives a like to the video. I'm only going to play, I am going to play some of his video. I'm only going to play the first part where we're talking about the stolen valor stuff, because then he goes into the police impersonation stuff as well. Friday International, the king of all FOIA requests and documentation concerning Jeremy Dewitte. Some of his stuff is played in there, so make sure you reach out to Friday International, show him some love as well. And yeah, oh, Real World Police, can't forget about them. They had a ton of videos from interviews with police officers, so on and so forth. I mean, there's just been a lot of people that have really been looking at this. Steve, Guardians of the Green Beret, hey, he's covered them. He tried to reach out to him numerous times to talk to him about his special forces claims with negative results. I've tried to reach out to him. I've called Metro State back when they were still a company, negative contact. I have gone overboard trying to get him prosecuted for stolen valor due to the fact that he used his fake, phony special forces military career to bolster his business. Um, anyone that would go in there and have a conversation with him, it would end up leading into his bogus military career. So, yeah, this is where Jeremy's at. Oh, look at that. Maybe he could do some Christmas postcards to send out using that photo. But these are all sex offender charges. I went ahead and printed out the summary for each of these. This one here is kind of unusual because it's still open, but it has no new events listed. And this was failure to register an electronic mail address, internet identifier, or instant message name, times 2 counts. And it's not on the docket for some reason, but I think it's going to be addressed in one of the next two. This one, failure to report change of vehicle owners, And it's set for a pretrial on January 8th. Yeah, January 8th. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Nah, it doesn't want to make it bigger. Let me see. No. For some reason, my Zoom function's not working. January 8th, right here. I'll highlight it at 9 a.m. And then he's got a jury trial set for January 22nd at 9 a.m. Those are with Judge Karsten. He's always getting very light sentences with Karsten or whatever. But he's being represented by a public defender. So maybe not this time. We'll see. And then, of course, the last one, again, reporting change of vehicle ownership, felony. All of his stuff is felonies. It always is. And yet again, the same thing. These are all the documents. Jury trial set for January 22nd. Pretrial set for January 8th. Right here. Let me show you this last one. Public defender. Unusual. So we'll have to wait and see where this goes. Let's take a quick look at Orange County. Yes, Orange County record search. Watch this. Jeremy Dewitte. I am not a robot. Traffic lights. So open. I think that's... He's got court pending on some really old stuff. 2019 civil traffic violation. I don't know why that's still there. And then he's got a couple of pendings, civil traffic infractions. Let's take a look at the open one. Let's see if I can make this bigger for you guys to, yeah. All right. It's as big as it'll let me make it. Oh, there we go. Here we go. It's working now. Organizing, planning, or participating in an intentional motor vehicle collision. Felony. False and fraudulent motor vehicle insurance application. Felony. False and fraudulent motor vehicle insurance application. Felony. False and fraudulent insurance claims. Felony. Failure by sex offender to comply with registration requirements. Failed to provide motor vehicle info. Felony. Staging a motor vehicle crash. Felony. False and fraudulent insurance claims under $20,000. Felony. Obtain property by communicating a fraud. Yep. Felony. Organized scheme to defraud under $20,000. Felony. Jeez. And these are, let's see. So he's got a plea hearing on January 6th, 2 days before his pretrial in Osceola County. So hopefully they'll transport him over there and he will get this plea hearing out of the way. This is Judge Kranick. So we'll have to wait and see what Judge Kranick has to say about all of this. What I expect is going to happen in Osceola County is guilty time served, probation, and then transferred to Orange County because they do have an Orange County warrant for him and probably held without bail. That would be my guess. I could be wrong. It is Florida. You never know what's going to happen in Florida. Florida is kind of crazy. and Office of Public Defender yet again. The insanity of it all. But I just wanted to recap on this. And, rather than utilize what I've got for clips and stuff, I am going to show you a portion of senior specialist's video that he just made like 5 days ago. Make sure you go to the channel, watch the whole video. I'm only going to play the first portion of it where it talks about the stolen valor stuff. I would love to get this young man for a live stream, maybe a Throat Punch Thursday. It'd be great to talk about his time with the old guard. Very disciplined unit. And those are the guys that they do Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it would be great to get him on here for an interview. So I'm hoping that's going to happen. I've left a message to him to reach out to me via email because I would love to interview this young guy. I think he said he joined in 2013. So pretty much all the wartime stuff was over with. So it would be curious to get his take on his military career. Anyway, let's take a look at his video. And yeah, here we go.
Because I know I'm not impersonating.
Okay. Impersonating what?
That I'm going to prove that I'm not.
Impersonating what? Impersonating what?
Let me ask you a
State
question.
agent?
No, police officer.
What the fuck?
Stay there till we're clear, or I'm going to take you down myself.
Take him down. He's going to take him down.
I know I don't have a lot of emotions and I don't really show them.
Come on, let's go, bitch. Get out the fucking car. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Cursing shows a lack of education, shows a lack of respect for who you're talking to.
Some dumb fuck bullshit idiot.
What the fuck does it look like I'm doing, dumb fuck? Get the fuck over before you find out.
Stop pretending you're a police officer.
Listen, motherfucker.
Guy called him out. I know this photo.
What branch?
Army.
The Army. When were you in the Army?
I wasn't actually in the Army.
And then I served for 12 years in the U.S. Army as a major.
Okay. Thank you for your service. Okay.
But I did the Army. I was young and dumb and I wanted action, so I joined the Army, was a Ranger, and then I went SF, and then my parachute didn't work right, my back got hurt, my brother got killed.
Wow. Those are the clips that you usually see. There's another clip where recently, last year sometime, or I think it was last year, 2023, he was in a minor motor vehicle collision, and he tells some guy, Iraq and Afghanistan, I know what I'm doing. So he still blurts this bullshit military stuff out there continuously. I can only imagine the stories he's telling while he's in the correctional facility. I can only imagine.
Jeremy Dewitte, aka Motor One, is one of the most infamous, egregious, and well-documented cases of stolen valor in history. There are thousands of videos and dedicated YouTube channels to document how he impersonates police officers and fabricates a life of military service. As we close 2024, his decade plus of tomfoolery is coming to an end, with his high-risk funeral escort business being disbanded and him being convicted to spend the next 7 years in prison for sex offender charges. After watching hundreds of hours of compilations and footage of this absolute disaster of a man, I decided to put this video together. I want to centralize his most ridiculous acts as a failed police officer and him lying about his ridiculous military career where he portrays himself as Captain Price from Call of Duty. If you're familiar with Germany, there'll be some points in this video that haven't been covered before. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the dumpster fire that is Jeremy Dewitte. Let's start at the beginning of his career as a serial impersonator. In 1998, when he was 18, Jeremy was part of the Orlando Police Explorers. This is similar to JROTC for the military. The important part is he in no way, shape, or form was a police officer. Long story short,
look at this picture. Look at that friggin' head. Holy Jesus, he got a big head. Big head.
he tried to get some gas, forgot his wallet, and showed the cashier's badge to pass himself off as a police officer to get free gas, which he claims he was going to pay back. He was charged with impersonating a police officer, and that was that. Before Jeremy.
Yep, and that's that. There was no way he was going to be able to join the military without getting some type of a waiver. All right. Now, there was the infamous National Guard letter that was going around that, they were going to give him that waiver. I reached out to that recruiting office and spoke to one of the current recruiters, a sergeant first class. He remembers Staff Sergeant Snodgrass, remembers the name, doesn't know of him. He's retired since, but believes that the only reason he gave him that letter was because Jeremy was trying to get his felony conviction expunged, removed from his record. That is the only way he would have been able to get in the military. At that point, Jeremy was, spinning tails, trying to do whatever he could to get that taken off.
He started Metro State. He supposedly served as an Army Ranger and Special Forces Major. Before we look at his stolen valor record, let's be clear. There is no way he could have served in the military with his record. On top of that, he was picking up documented charges the whole time he supposedly was serving the military. Thankfully, we can thank the YouTube channel Master Sergeant Retired for requesting his paperwork from the United States Army verifying that he never served.
This is in response to your request for military personnel files. Hey, I got that stuff here.
Jeremy C. Dewitte. Your request was
and thanks for the shout out. I appreciate it.
Information/Privacy Act.
Wow, 2020.
And we'll go down a little bit more. No records pertaining to Mr. Jeremy C. Dewitte were found.
Now that we all understand that he did not serve, let's hear from the horse's mouth about his military service.
Appreciate you calling because, I have a medical discharge. Once I got that I jumped, my chute didn't work right.
Now he is bullshitting. I can't see what his rank is. Looks like Major. MP with a bunch of combat tours. He's got a bunch of combat hashes on the right sleeve. He's got a CAB. What the? So he's bullshitting this guy. Somebody he wishes he was.
Right. To the Army. I was young and dumb and I wanted action, so I joined the Army, was a Ranger, and then I went to SF, and then my parachute didn't work right, my back got hurt, my brother got killed, and I drank, and life changed.
I gotta ask you, man, because I was military, right? Right, Jeremy? I just gotta ask this before.
Corporal.
Were you ever in the military?
Corporal. Let me ask you a question.
Did you jump in Fallujah? Did you jump in Fallujah?
I've jumped a lot of places.
Jumped a lot of places. The only fucking place he jumped was out of bed. Yeah, it's all been disproved. It's all bullshit. BS. But, we've seen all of this before. Shout out to Real World Police.
Because of our business, and I have 30 employees, and they do rotate a little bit. I was military, so it's easier for me to remember people by their call sign than their.
Remember people by their call sign. Really? Is that a military thing? No, I don't remember somebody by their call sign. I know their call sign for when we're out on missions. But really? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Actual name.
Have you ever been in the military?
I have.
You were in what branch?
Army.
The Army. When were you in the Army?
I wasn't actually in the Army. I was actually certified and trained, and then I did private details.
No, what I'm asking you, have you ever been in
Never
the United
sworn
States
to the United
military?
States Army.
You
I
were
was
never
in the
sworn
United
into
States
the
Army.
military.
Trained me, and then the details that I
Yeah,
do.
but that doesn't make you in the
You're right.
military.
Okay.
I served as a cop, and then I served for 12 years in the U.S. Army as a major.
Okay.
Feel it in my heart when I was overseas. A few of you have asked questions, where have you been? And
Overseas. If he was overseas, it would be his bowl of sea monkeys that he was over, because never been able to verify he's ever left the United States, ever in his adult life, ever.
Overseas. I've been to almost every Middle Eastern country you can list.
To wear that, and then I joined the army, and then this is where I am now. Yes.
And you are SF Ops 2015, is that you?
Right.
Okay. And what's the SF Ops for? What's that?
Operations.
SF Ops 2015. What the fuck does that mean? It's not an ODA number. Those in the military know what an ODA is. Making me crazy again. I've been down this rabbit hole.
Are you cleared for that?
He owns this business.
Are you cleared for that? Sir, what's your GS level? Because I know what my military level was, my classification.
Okay, we don't need to go through.
Okay, great. Are you an officer?
No, I'm not, but I work for Customs CP 35. How do you know how to do this stuff?
Dismantling bombs overseas.
I had forgotten about that. He's wiring up a car for his purple and white lights. And he says, I learned how to do this from dismantling bombs overseas. I forgot about this one. I don't know if I've covered it before or not, but yeah, dismantling bombs overseas. Now, listen to his crazy girlfriend.
I'm sorry. What? Dismantling bombs?
The giggle?
You never told me that. You said you were like special ops, but you never said you were like dismantling bombs.
Now, shooting shit just for the hell of it. What branch of the military were you in?
Army.
Army? So was I. Where were you stationed?
I was Benning and then I was Bragg. I was originally a Ranger, 3rd Battalion out of Benning, and then I was 3rd Group out of Bragg.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you. What did you do?
You jumped.
Oh yeah, I've been jump certified since I was 18.
Wow.
That's why I left the Army. I had a streamer.
Yep. Convicted felon since 18. Jump certified? Maybe out of bed.
My riser popped when I was going into.
He could not tell you the nomenclature of a parachute harness, let alone how the risers are attached to the harness. So, yeah. Like I said, I tried to reach out to this ass clown many times and never could get him on the phone. But let me throw a Kaiserism in there. I digress.
First off, anyone that's ever served the military would call BS on his career, just the way he talks about GS levels and his supposed special forces career. As disrespectful as it is to falsely claim military service, especially deploying and all the other stuff he talks about, it's not technically illegal. When it does become illegal and becomes stolen valor is if there's some type of economical gain for it to become a crime. Aside from him vlogging his house, showing off his special forces book, or having...
And let me just touch on that really quick. I reached out to media outlets. I reached out to state prosecutors. I reached out to anybody that would listen in Florida in regards to that. And there's no doubt in my mind that he used his military career to boost up his persona with his business to get accounts. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. I don't know if any of his clients would have said the reason I gave him my business is because of his military career. If they had, it would have been a clear-cut stolen valor violation, and he could have been charged with it. I tried my best.
Army stickers scattered around. Picture this. You're looking for a funeral escort service and you end up at the offices of Metro State and take a seat with Mr. Dewitte himself. As you're making small talk, you see the display of flags behind him. To the uninitiated, you'd probably ask what they mean. If you have served, you would immediately recognize the Army flag behind him. You'd probably then take a closer look and notice the Special Forces flag that is also there. As you keep skimming his office, you see a coffee cup of an Army Ranger unit insignia, and then you notice an operator helmet as well. Of course, that would somehow come
Operator helmet,
which opens the door for him to tell his stolen.
The operator helmet was for his paintball antics. if you remember the interview I did with a coworker of his from years past, yeah, it wasn't a great interview. The camera was blurry. I said I tried to blur it. I didn't. It was a shit show, and it wasn't a great interview. He wasn't very easy to get his point across. But however, they did play like paintball shit, trying to act like they knew what they were doing. And that kid was Florida National Guard. So he's a private, didn't know any better. Jeremy bullshitted him into taking him on military bases. But again,
Valor stories. I assume there have been some clients of his that probably heard his ridiculous service story and felt some sense of obligation or trust based off his fabricated service that led him to receiving business. I know he's been investigated for stolen valor, and I really hope the detectives interviewed his past clients to tie the business atmosphere for some type of financial benefit. Now let's take a look at him impersonating police officers post Call of Duty military career.
All right. So now he's going to go into the police impersonation. I'm not going to show that. If you guys want to see it, go to his channel, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Let's show him some love and get his channel built up. He does a great job. I watched the whole video. And again, I would love to interview this young man about his time with the old guard. I'm sure it would be a very interesting interview, and he could give us a little bit of what it's like to be in the old guard. So I hope he does reach out. So pre-trial, January 8th, also January 6th in Orange County. After the first of the year, I'll cover it again and see where we're at. As far as this criminal stuff, just to keep him in the forefront. Again, he's never confessed to being stolen valor. He's never apologized for any of his military claims. I'm sure he still throws military claims out to anyone that will listen. But anyone who listens is going to know he's full of shit. And all they have to do is just type his name in Google. And all of his stolen valor and police impersonation and all the other bullshit will immediately pop right up. So with that, hey, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Not sure if I'm going to get another video out between now and New Year's. But if I don't, please enjoy yourselves, but be safe, be careful. And as always, have yourself a